Good morning, Eagles. It's Friday already. I hope you're all adjusting to this new normal, although our new reality has become such a shock to our lives. Have you ever had an electrical shock? Even from one of those silly little shock devices that your funny friend hides in his hand? It makes you back up and say, ouch, that hurts. Well, the coronavirus is a type of shock, more of a jolt, really, to so many aspects of our lives. We've had a shock to school. You're all sitting at home instead of in the classroom. We've had a shock to our home life. We've had a shock to our friendships. So many of you haven't seen your friends. Many of your parents have had a shock to their jobs. So this week, I want to share with you a message of hope from Irving. We care about you and your family. We care about you. Your feelings about your life right now are so important to us, and we care about your struggles. We are here for you. We are all sitting in our living rooms, family rooms, and basements, ready to support. We will pick up our phones when you call. We will answer your emails when you message. We will connect with you during your online learning time. And I want to remind you of your responsibility to do your part in taking care of yourself and the people you love. You may be tired of hearing all of this, but we all need reminders of the important stuff. So, Eagles, please remember to wash your hands often. Keep a distance from anyone outside of your immediate family, the pizza delivery guy, the Amazon delivery guy, your neighbors, maybe even your grandparents. Avoid crowds. Get outside if possible. Try something brand new. Try cooking, maybe even a new board game. Read, read, and read. Reflect on what other members of your family are going through. That will lead us all to being kinder. When we are under stress, kindness helps us so much. That's a good segue into the second part of my episode. Today, I'm going to chat with one of our staff members, Trish Stevens, who teaches fourth grade at Irving. Miss Stevens brings some real gifts to Irving. She's kind. She hardly ever says no when asked to do something extra. She values and respects staff and students. And of course, Miss Stevens is a really good teacher. I hope you all enjoy the interview that I have with Miss Stevens. Thank you.
Hello. Hi, Irving.
Thanks for being the first to sit in the hot seat here for Friday Connections. Um, the last couple episodes I've had, the first one I did was just my thoughts on connectedness. The second one I had was a tour of the building, and then last week's was the video of all the teachers sharing a message to their kids. And then this week, I thought it would be a good idea to do a more in-depth interview with a teacher at Irving. And I thought you would be a great one to start with as
Thank
we try
you.
to continue our connectedness between school and staff, because I think it's very important that the kids still feel connected to school.
Yes, definitely.
So I have some questions for you. Some of them are just personal questions about your life, and others are your reflections about our current situation. So go ahead and get
Okay.
started. First question I got is, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in the northwest suburbs in Hanover. My great, and then when I was in high school, I lived in Schaumburg
Okay. And what elementary school did you go to in Hanover Park?
and Fox.
And Fox.
hmm
How important was was grade school for you?
It was very important. My parents were both former teachers till I was about 4 years old, so they were really honing in on us, to my sisters and I, to learn and to try our best all the time. And we were really involved in the school and the community. And just kind of like what I see at Irving.
What grades did your parents teach?
My mom taught on the west side of Chicago. She was a reading recovery teacher, and my dad taught in the Pilsen area, and he was a PE teacher. elementary until I was about 4 years old, and then they switched and went to other. They got tired of striking in the city.
And then they moved out to Hanover Park, and did they keep teaching out that way?
No, my dad started his insurance agency, and my mom was became a realtor.
Okay, just stayed at home with you guys, but all
Yeah.
kept the passion for education and knew how hard the teacher's job were, I'm sure.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Okay, when you were at what was the name of school?
And Fox.
And Fox, did you have a favorite teacher?
I did. My 3rd grade teacher, Miss McPherson, she was big boisterous lady that was just so much fun, and she enhanced my love of learning. She made it fun. It wasn't like boring sitting reading and doing work. She, we'd get up and dance, we'd play games, and had nice little breaks and conversations, and I felt like she really cared about us.
It's great. I feel like third grade was my favorite grade too. It was just kind of like right in the middle. I started to really make friends that weren't just the neighbor kids and reach out to kids that were just in my school. And I was able to kind of wander over to their streets and get to know them. I felt like it was a very special year for me as well.
Ride bikes instead of sitting in the house playing games.
Yeah, yeah. Did you make a lot of special friends at school?
I did, and I'm still friends with a lot of my friends today that I grew up with, and though I met other friends along the way, I still have my good core of friends. Actually, my boyfriend and I met in junior high, and then we reconnected years later now. So it's nice to have that the core group that I grew up with. It's very important to keep those ties.
Yeah, there's something just so homey about elementary school, and then those relationships that you make with friends and they stay with you into adulthood, and you have that special bond that you just can't.
Can't break.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well put. Um, why'd you go into teaching?
Well, as I said, both of my parents were teachers, and I just really, when I was young, I would take my mom's actually ditto the copies that they had, and I'd play school with my sisters, and I was the teacher always, and they were the students, and I'd get the big blue and purple ditto stuff all over our clothes. But we had a great time, and it's just something that I wanted to do. I wanted to make a difference and make changes in the world. And I believe you could really do that through teaching and inspiring kids.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the most important jobs you can do. Where do you, and I heard you mention your sisters a few times. Can you tell me about your family and kind of where you fall in line, sister wise?
Yeah, I'm the oldest. That's why I was the teacher.
Yeah, I figured.
But actually, my sisters are in education as well. My middle sister, Kelly, she's a social worker at an elementary school. And my youngest sister, Carrie, is a PE teacher at Prospect High School.
Great, great. So you guys all went into education and followed your parents' footsteps.
Yes, we did.
How many years have you taught at Irving?
I've been there my whole time, 23 years.
23 years. Good for you.
Yeah,
Good for you. Uh,
long time.
what makes Irving so special to you?
What makes Irving special to me, and what really proved it a couple weeks ago, was the families. And when we went on that parade, I just, as soon as we turned the corner and I saw the families and kids outside, I immediately started crying, and I'm like, yeah, this is really what I'm doing this for. So Irving has always felt like a home and a family, with the teachers and the parents and the students, and I just really feel connected to them. And I feel like, and I tell my students, I'm not just your teacher for this year, I'm your teacher for life. And I have really kept the connections with the students. I've been to weddings of students that I had when they were in 5th grade. I've been to the hospital when they've given birth to their kids. And it's just a everlasting family that continues on.
Yeah, and that family perspective or that family feeling, you can feel it as soon as you get to Irving. I know I certainly did when I started. And just from my vantage point, I think you're such a caring teacher, and that's it's so evident in how the students relate with you, and how much they like being a part of your class. And I think that family feeling comes from people like you that are such caring teachers.
Well, thank you. You're a caring principal as well in person.
Yeah. What grade levels have you taught at your time in Irving?
Well, since I've been there for so long, Irving was actually kindergarten through eighth when I started. So I did teach seventh grade. There was a modern world class. I taught that. I was a reading teacher first through fifth, and then I taught fifth grade for like 17 years, and the rest have been fourth grade.
Okay. Uh, what's the best thing about teaching fourth grade?
They still like to learn. And so it's just you could see the passion that they have. They're not too cool for school and they enjoy coming every day and like to learn. And it's just I love to see the looks on their faces when they experience something new that they learned and that they didn't think that they could do before. And it's just a great feeling to watch that.
Yeah, certainly 10-year-olds or so still impressionable, and they still like to listen to their teachers, and can be motivated by their teachers, and they just have that like passion to want to learn more and to do well in school.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips for helping parents to support their kids through learning and daily living right now in our current situation?
Yeah, I would think the first thing that we all need to do is just relax and breathe. It can get overwhelming, and um, I know parents are having to work, or maybe they're off work and they have the kids and have other kids at home, and it's just a lot. I think we all need to be respectful of each other and see that this is new for all of us, for the kids, the teachers, the parents, the administrators, and we all have to just find ways to work together. I think it's important for kids to maybe the parents can make a checklist for the kids to start and do some work, and definitely allow time for breaks. They need to take a break. It shouldn't be overwhelming experience for them. Just like within school, we take little breaks here and there to try to keep them and come back and be focused.
So, number one, take care of yourself is kind of what I'm hearing,
Yeah,
and then try to prioritize from there, right? Do you
yes.
have any suggestions for parents to like how to prioritize with their kids and their learning right now?
Um, I would, school's a lot different for parents today, and math especially. And maybe parents can show kids, and I do for my students too. I show them the old school math. I show both ways, so that it gives the kids a chance to become the teacher as well, to actually teach their parents, and the parents can feel special teaching the kids. I think it's important for parents to try to find real world connections, like especially in math. If you're cooking, get out some stuff and measure and deal with, you could bring in fractions and things like that to help them learn. Or I've had assignments where the kids have had to go around in their house and find and take pictures of different angles, because we were learning about angles in math. So if they can do their best to try to make real world connections to the kids, it'll really enhance their learning.
So kind of use a checklist to set up the day, I think was one thing I'd heard you said before. And then when you're actually diving into the learning with your kids, use your prior knowledge to help teach them the concepts, but also make it real and connect with the world around you.
Yeah, and make it fun. We have to remove the stress, because I know it could be a stressful situation. So we just have to do our best to try to work together.
Yeah, back to that first thing, take care of yourself first.
Yes. Very important.
All right, I got one last question. What's the message you have to your students and to staff?
Well, actually, today is it's ironic that we're doing this today. Today is my dad's birthday, and I unfortunately lost my dad suddenly to a heart attack 3 years ago. And after my dad passed, I had went to his office and I found this message here, and I framed it, and it says, "The important things in life are not things." And I try to live my life and inspire others to live their life following this message. And I think it's very important in today's world that what we have going on, we have to really look at what is really important and what matters. I believe we kind of all just got a reset button, and I think we really needed it. I think we could find some positive aspects of this quarantine that we need to come back together as families and have that relationship to connect with each other. Sometimes, everything gets so busy in the world that I think we need to stay true to what really matters, and the love that we have with our family and friends. And I hope that everyone has made a positive change from this. And so I just wish that everyone could look and maybe put aside, as we see that we're not having our things, that's not mattering anymore right now. Those have kind of all been taken away from us, that we can't go out to the stores or go to different places that we would like to go to. What matters is our values that we have at home. And I just hope that that helps everyone mentally to stay healthy and physically as well.
Yeah, such a strong message. I mean, you're right. There are things we can take away from this, and it's helped us slow down and prioritize what's important to us. And certainly the connection between people is so important, and our loved ones. So let's take advantage of that while we have this time, because we probably won't ever have it again.
Yes.
It's a very good message. God
Thank,
bless your dad. I'm sure
thank
you're
you.
thinking of him right now, and I'm sure he's looking down on you,
Always.
looking after you, your sisters, and your mom.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any questions for me before we sign off?
No, I just want to thank you for keeping the connection and keeping it was nice to see the tour of the school. I feel like the kids needed that, and I definitely needed that as well. It's nice to have that connection, and I enjoy doing things like this to try to find ways to keep us still connected.
Well, it's my pleasure. I think it's very important that the kids still feel connected to school in this weird time, and that's all just hope. And in time, they'll get this thing figured out. I think they will, and this will just be a brief pause, and maybe it'll help us reflect on it's okay to take a pause from your busy life, and as you said, focus on the things that are important.
Yes.
All
Thanks.
right, Trish. Well, thank you so much. Everybody, enjoy your weekend until the next Friday connection. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Stay healthy. We miss you.
I miss you guys.